Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy AMG here and I'm back again with another informative video for you guys. And in our today's video, you will be seeing how to register for IELTS exam as well as all of my experience writing the exam and like what mistakes I did so that you guys can be aware of that and don't do the same. And also I will be giving the information about the test, how the process is and stuff. So make sure you watch the video till the end. And also this is the reason why I was away from YouTube for quite a while, but still I was uploading short videos. But from now on I will be consistent. I will try to be consistent and upload a long video every other day. So if you're new to my channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the videos which I upload. Guys, I know that you are here because probably your exam is soon or it's near. You're in the right place because I'm going to share all my experiences and stuff and how to register in my today's video. So you're at the right place. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, let's begin with today's video. Guys, in this video you will be seeing the journey of mine straight from the registration process to the band 7 score, how I scored 7 bands. So guys, to begin with, you might be wondering, what does IELTS stand for? It stands for International English Language Testing System, and basically we need to write this exam when we are wishing to migrate to a place or a country where the English is the native language. Countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, etc, etc. So guys, now let's talk about the marks of the IELTS exam. The marks are termed as bands in IELTS, and these bands are ranging from 1 to 9, which is from beginner to an expert user. 9 is an expert user and 1 is a beginner who just began learning the language. So there's also a CFR grading system. I don't exactly remember the full form of CFR. I will search it and will be putting it for you guys. But CFR is some kind of a framework which is present in all the languages. When we are gonna learn any of the language, if we undergo a test of any other language, this will be the grading system which is used. And there's kind of ranging from A1, A2, C1, C2, B1, B2, something like that. And A1, A2 are the people who just begin learning the language, who doesn't have any hold on the language. And B1, B2 are the persons who have intermediate knowledge about the language they're learning. And then C1 and C2 are the people who are advanced and expert users and have a complete hold on that particular language. I will bring a chart of both the CFR level and also the IELTS bands. You can see how they are used, how the people are termed according to the bands and the CFR grade. And that's it for the marks. I'll be sharing all my experiences, but first let's see how we are going to register for the IELTS exam. Before we go through the registration process of IELTS exam, let me tell you about the prerequisites which you need for the registration process. First of all, you will need a valid passport of yours, and the next thing is of course the amount which is used for registration of the IELTS exam. And for me, the examination fee, the registration fee was around 14,700 Indian rupees. I will be putting it over here again so that you guys can see. And now with that being said, let's move on to our next stop and see how the registration process of the exam is. So guys, now let's begin our registration process. First of all, you need to go to your browser, and over there you need to type in IELTS IEP. I will be leaving the down in the description below so that you don't have to hustle yourself and you can directly come on the website. And this is the website where you will be registering for your IELTS exam. And you need to go to the register for IELTS tab and then to book now. And after that, you need to select your test, which is computer delivered IELTS or pen or paper based IELTS. If you ask me what I choose the computer delivered IELTS exam because there are lots of benefits that also I will be sharing further in the video, so make sure you stay and watch the video till then. So you need to choose that, and after that you need to choose your test module. For me, as I'm gonna go for studying purpose, it was academic. And after that you need to select your city and the place which is closest to you. For me, I choose Coca-Cola, and then you just need to click on the book now and you will be reaching to some kind of this page. And as you can see, the date today is 2nd of April, and you're having slots for 19, 20, all the things, like all the dates which are marked with green are the dates which are available, and the pink ones are full and the white ones are like not available ones. You know what was the case for me? I wanted to book a slot. I came to the website in the beginning week of February, and you know what slot I got? I got it on March 29th. So yeah, that time slots were all full. And then like you need to choose the slot which is suitable for you. You can even choose the time slot. For me, I choose the morning slot. You can even go with the afternoon slot. It is available. Yeah. So there you go, guys. These are the price details and the general information. You know, our speaking date will be decided by them. The test center, it will not be decided by us. For me, like the LRW, which is listening, reading, writing test, were on 29th, and my speaking test was on 28th. So now you can click. Oh, I didn't see this, guys. I guess the price have increased. It became 15,500. For me, I paid around 14,700, I guess. So there's a price hike. So then you need to read all these information and terms and conditions, and it also asks you to send your passport copy to courier to Gurugram, Haryana, where the head office of IELTS is. So then here there are all the details which you need to fill. And now we will skip to the next step, what happens after filling all the details. So guys, after hitting the proceed button, you will reach to the third step, which are the registration details. And what you all have entered, that all will be over here. You need to enter some additional details like your address and stuff, because I will say why you need to enter your address and stuff. Do all that, then we will be moving to the next step. So guys, after hitting submit, you will reach the fourth step, which is the document upload. You need to upload your first page and the last page of the passport. Like I will show you. You see I already have my front and back of passport with me scanned. You can use scanner or any other app and do so and upload the following pages of your passport. And you also, on a safe side, can courier it. There will be an address present to the Gurugram, Haryana, and then you can hit skip if you don't have any friends. And guys, now you can review all your details, right? After reviewing all the details, the sixth step is review, which is reviewing all the details. Check all your details. If there's some mistake, hit on edit So if there's any mistakes, hit on edit or else proceed to pay. And when you hit proceed to pay, again you see this is the payment amount which you need to pay, and there are options of online payment or net banking or UPI. If you ask me personally, what I did, I used net banking and I used Google Pay to pay my test fee. And at my time it was around 14,700. I just gave it in the end of March, and now I guess the test fee have increased. Guys, after doing all this, you will be getting a confirmation email on your registered email ID with a username, and you need to set a password for that by following the instructions presented in the email. And like when your speaking test slot is allotted, when it is scheduled, at that time you will be getting a invitation letter which you either need to carry a soft copy or a hard copy of to the exam center at the day of exam. So that's all for the registration process, and now let's go and see how my experience was while writing the exam. We talked about the general bands and grading system. Now let's talk about what result I got. So guys, I got my result within like 3 days after I completed my exam. Like I completed it on 29th and I got my result on 1st. So that was pretty quick, and that's one of the advantages of the computer-based test. We'll be hearing more advantages later in the video. So the test result is provided to us like in form of TRF, which is the test report form. There are 2 files which we receive. You can download that files from the IDP IELTS website, which you will see further in the video which we are going to use for our registration process. And after the registration process is done, we get our account created, and when we log into that account, there are all the details, and you'll also get the details if your passport document is verified over there. So yeah, as I was saying, we can download our result from there. So there are 2 files. One is just a normal one which contains your bands, and the other one is like a whole test report, like the band which you scored. Like suppose if you scored 9 bands, so it will contain the information like what hole does the 9 bands holder have on the particular section of reading, writing, listening and speaking. So it will all be divided into the section wise, and it will be given that information. So the bands which I got, I scored like 7 bands. You might know that seeing the thumbnail. If we talk about section wise, I got 7.5 in listening, 7.5 in reading, 6 in writing and 6 in speaking. So I don't know what went wrong in writing. I think I did well, but in speaking I could have done better. I did some mistakes, so that you will be seeing in further video too. So that was bands, and the grade which I got is C1, which is an advanced and expert user. So that's pretty good. And most of the universities which are on top require band 7 and 7 plus, so that's really a good score. So guys, now let's see the advantages of CBT, that is computer based test, over the pen and paper based test. So your speaking test will not be affected on choosing any of the options. Like it will be face to face with a verified examiner from the IELTS. So the things which will be affected is your LRW examinations. So the advantages are that you have a look at the time, like how much more time is left. That's one advantage. The results are faster you like get the results in 3 to 5 days, like I got mine. But if you choose to write pen and paper based, if you choose for pen and paper based, you will get your results in like a week or 13 days. And the other benefit is the handwriting. And some people are slow in writing and fast in typing, so typing is really good, and there will be not a factor of writing. If your writing is really bad, it will result in decrease in bands, so it's better to type, right? So that's the other advantage. And the next thing is you have an advantage on the writing part. You can know there's a word count at bottom where you're typing, at bottom of the text box, and yeah, it gives you a count of how many words you have typed in the essay. So that's really a very good thing. So yeah, these are all the advantages of choosing a computer-based test. So now let's move forward into the video, guys. Now let's talk about the preparation, how I prepared for my IELTS examination. So to be quite honest, I didn't choose to go to any coaching centers, nor did I go to enroll myself in any of the online coachings present. So what I did is, first of all, as soon as I registered, maybe like the next morning or the other day, I received a courier from IDP, and it was a book which is IELTS Academic 16 with answers. And guys, this book has all the sections to practice on, which is reading, listening, and writing. For listening, there are QR codes, as you can see on your screen. You can practice listening to the sound, and yeah, that's for this book, which is IELTS Academic 16. It is from Cambridge. So let's give this aside. Now, what I prepared from that book is only writing. Like, I wanted to get an idea on how the bands are given. So there are a few examples at the end of the book, like they give the passage of the test attempters, previous test attempters, and there are like 5 to 6 examples for the writing part, and the passages are from the person who like scored 6, 6.5, 5, 5.5 in that particular writing section. So I just read that passages once, and it was just to get a rough idea of how the bands are provided and what mistakes would cause us losing our bands. So that was for the writing part. So that's what I did from that book. Now let's go section wise. So to prepare for my speaking test, I personally used YouTube. I went on there and I typed on IELTS speaking test example. Guys, I found a lot of videos on YouTube with different band scores of the speaking test, and I saw most of them to get an idea about the speaking test, how it is done. So now let me tell you guys how the speaking test is done. There are around 3 sections in the speaking test. Guys, the speaking test will be for around 20 minutes or so, and in that you will be attempting the 3 sections. So in the first section, what will be happening is the examiner will be asking you few questions to know about you, and after that you will be moving on to the section 2. You will be given a cue card in that section with few questions which you need to answer in about 1 minute or 2 minutes. You need to speak on it. You will be given a preparation time of 1 minute, and also a paper and a pencil to make few points on that. And then now let's talk about the section 3 of the speaking test. So in the section 3, you will be having questions, you will be thrown questions by the examiner which are related to the section 2. So this is all about the speaking test. So guys, now the next section, which in LWR is the first section which you will be attempting, is the listening test. As I said, we will be getting a pair of headphones. We will need to put that on before our exam in computer-based test, and there will be some conversation going on, like for example, a conversation between a landlord and a person who's going to rent the house. You need to listen to the conversation and fill the blanks up, and there will be even true or false. These kind of sections will be there. You need to just listen carefully and answer the questions. There will be like MCQs, fill-ups and stuff in the listening test. Stay till the end of the video, guys. I will be sharing what all questions I got, so stay till the end of the video. So guys, after you attempt the listening test, you get to the reading section. There are like 3 sections, I guess so. There are 3 sections in the readings part. You need to read the passage carefully and then answer the questions. And again, there are MCQs present. There are match the following, like you need to drag and complete the whole sentence, something like that. And MCQs, as I said, there will be like true, false, not given, that kind of stuff too. So you need to read the passage carefully and then answer these questions. So how I practice for reading is, I went on different websites and stuff, and I read articles, I read blogs and stuff to improve my reading. That's for the reading section. And now let's move on to the most important part, which is writing. So writing section consists of 2 tasks. So first task, you'll be given a pictorial representation of something like bar graphs or cyclic graphs or something, and you need to see that, and then you need to summarize all that information into the text form. You need to summarize all that picture, and that summary should be around 150 words or so. And when you move on to the task 2 of the writing test, you'll be given a text or something on which you have to give your opinion. For example, we can take a topic of, are laptops beneficial for the students at school? So this can be a topic. It will ask to give your opinion. It will ask you to justify your answer if yes or no. So this will be how the writing part is. So how I prepared for the writing test is, as I said earlier, I saw the passages which were given in the book, at the end of the book, and the book which was sent to me by the IELTS and IDP itself. And I went online and I found few example essays of both task 1 and task 2. I'll be leaving the link down of that in the description below, so it will be helpful for you guys. It will definitely will be helpful for you guys, because you can get an idea of how to attempt these tasks of writing. So yeah, those links will be down in the description below. You can just go and check it out. So guys, now we are done talking with all about the test pattern and how the tests are, how I prepared. Let's move on to my experiences and how I felt, and also I will be giving you some tips which you can follow to make sure you get a nice band. So guys, I firstly booked my exam to be on the date of 29, so I got a slot of 29 for the exams, which were listening, reading and writing. Talking about the speaking test, it will be, depending on your center, it can be taken either before these sections or else after the listening, reading and writing. Thank God, for me it was just a day before my other sections. And yeah, as I wrote CBT, I got my results within 3 days, so that's very cool. part of writing the CBT based IELTS exam. Guys, the speaking time which was allotted to me was from 11:20 to 11:40, and I had to be 20 minutes prior to my allotted time on 28th March. So I went to the center. I just received the speaking test invitation 2 or 3 days before that. We either need to carry the soft copy of it or either hard copy to the examination center. As I entered the center, it required me to fill in a log register. We need to fill our candidate number, our name, and our time when we are entering the center, and also the signature is required. And after doing all that, you'll be allotted with a locker number, which you also have to write in the log register. That key, the locker key, will be fixed to IDP, IELTS ID card, which you will be getting. So I was asked to scan the QR code. After scanning the QR code, I came to know that it's for the COVID health declaration. So when I scanned the QR code, the form appeared. I just needed to enter my passport number, and after entering that, it automatically filled all the details of mine, and I just needed to click submit. And so after doing all that, I was asked by the security guard to keep all my belongings in the locker. So I did that. I kept all my belongings in the locker except my passport. And then there was a desk nearby the lockers. I was asked to sit over there. There was a person who was there, and it was basically a registration desk. You were all the details and stuff were cross-checked. You'll be asked to remove your mask only at that time for the identification purpose. They then use a DSLR and capture your image while you're wearing the ID card for the TRF purpose and identification purpose. And they also ask you for your fingerprint or your index finger. You need to do that. And after doing the registration and everything was finished, I was asked to wait. There was a waiting area at the test center, and as it's really hot in Hyderabad, the mercury is rising a lot, so yeah, I'm not complaining. There were ACs all over in the waiting room. There was a centralized AC. It was really chill, but still I was sweating because I guess I was quite nervous as I had my speaking test. So that's the first thing. Don't be nervous. Don't think a lot about it. Just go, be natural, and give it your shot. Be natural, just like you're speaking with the examiner. Just calm yourself down and just be natural. Just don't tense yourself up. Just don't be nervous. The more nervous you are, the more it will get spoiled. The more you will fumble in front of the examiner. So make sure you calm yourself down. I was a lot nervous day before, but to be quite honest, I had a bit of nervousness, but it was not that much. So I was called by my name and I had to go in. So first of all, as it's a general part of etiquette, reading is a general part of etiquette. So I greeted my examiner, and then I was informed that these conversation between me and the examiner will be recorded for marking purpose and stuff. And then straight away after the verification of passport, she looked at my passport, and I guess she checked the name and stuff. She put the right mark on the paper she had. So I guess she verified the details, and straight away after that we began our speaking test. And the question which I was asked at first was, which sport did I like? And after that I was asked whether I like watching that sport with my friends, or do I like to watch the sports alone? So after this, I was asked whether I had a wish to watch any sport event live by going to any stadium or an event. And a question followed by this was like, how do you plan the study schedule? How do you plan your study schedule? And do you get difficulties anytime planning your schedule, or do you get interrupted? Do you get off track while following the schedule? These all were the questions asked to me in section 1. Now let's move on to the section 2. The cue card given to me contained questions like, which language did I face a challenge to study? Which new language did I face a challenge to study? How did I study it? How I gained a hold on it? And with whom did I study? These all questions were there in the cue card. Then I was handed over with a piece of paper and a pencil to make notes on, and was given a 1 minute time to prepare on the following topic. And as I said, I scored a band of 6, and I guess the reason is because I was short on words, like 10 seconds. I like spoke for 50 seconds or so, then like I was short on words. I wasn't able to speak for a whole minute, and that's the reason I guess it resulted in a bit of less bands in that section. I like scored 6 in the speaking test. And followed by this, in section 3, I was asked the questions related to the section 2. I was asked questions like, how do we practice whenever, like in general, how do we practice whenever we are going to learn a new language, and what are the first steps to do to learn a new language? And also I was asked a question like, in previous times people didn't like learn lots of languages, but nowadays people are like tending towards learning new languages, and why is it so? So these were the questions I were asked in my speaking test, and it like almost took me 20 or more than 20 minutes to complete my speaking test. And the next day I had my LRW test, which is listening, reading and writing. It was like scheduled to be at 9 o'clock. Like I said, we had slots, and I booked the morning slot, which was 9 to 12 I guess, or 1. But our reporting time was at 8:15. As soon as we like complete our registration, we get a mail, as I said earlier. In that mail there will be a reporting time, and for me the reporting time was 8:15, so I was there at 8:15. And then I was same process. We like need to register. First of all, we are given our ID cards, and as I had a computer-based test, I was given with computer number 2. Like for me, the computer number was C3. All the computers in the center were labeled from A1, A2, A3, so on, like C1, C2. Yeah, they were labeled something like that. Yeah, as it was same like the previous day. It had the logger key, the ID card with the computer label. It had the key to the locker, and same I had to keep all the belongings. We don't even need to take the water bottle. It will be provided to you guys, so don't worry about it. Just concentrate on giving the exam. So I had to wait most of the time in the waiting area. Then I was called before, like 2-3 minutes before my exam. Someone came, I guess it was the examiner. She said that our exam is gonna begin, so if we had to use the restrooms, make sure that we do that. And after that we were read with the set of instructions by the examiner, like what all we don't have to do in the exam. And we were asked to check our pockets, that if there is something in our pockets other than the passport, we are not allowed to carry anything inside the room, inside the examination room, apart from the passport. And after that we were taken into the room. I found my PC, which was labeled as C3, and over there was a paper holder with my name, passport number, and the candidate number. I sat, and again I was read with instructions on the first of all, the PCs were really great, guys. I thought my typing speed was like more than usual. I was pretty comfortable typing on the keyboard. So as I sat, I saw that there are 3 papers on the desk, accompanied with a pencil, a pen, an eraser, sharpener, and also a water bottle. On like the PC was in my front, and over here was the passport holder too. We need to keep our passport over there. In the middle of the test, if we have to use washroom or so, we need to give our passport to the examiner and we can go and use it, but time doesn't stop. Time keeps on rolling. So as I said, I found 3 pieces of paper. There were 3 papers. The first paper contained all our information. We need to check that, and if it's all correct, we need to write why. If there are changes, we need to just change it and inform the examiner. And after everything is done, we need to sign below with the date. And then the examiner collects that sheet. The remaining 2 sheets contains the details about your sections. It contains the username and a password which you need to enter for each section, and every section has its own dedicated time, which the answers will get submitted once the time is completed. So first I had my listening test. In my listening test there was a conversation between a broker and a person who wants a house on rent. The second one was like related. They talked about the house, talked about what all was present in the contract. That was the second one. And third one was a photographer who was accompanied by people, and he was giving a speech, and he was listing out the advantages and how his photography trip was to a forest or something. Yeah, that was the conversations, and I was able to type in the answers while listening, and then at last I had 1 or 2 minutes to check all the answers. And note that we can listen to the audio only once. And the timer doesn't have the seconds indicator, it only indicates the minutes. So as soon as the time's up, the answers get submitted automatically. The examiners kept changing for all the 3 sections. So after a section is over, they come, they read the instructions, and then they go and they start the test. I also forgot to say, when we go, we enter the details. It will, after we complete our login, it will ask you to change the text size, change the appearance, and so then after all, if it is done, it will be buffering. It will say that you need to wait, your test will begin shortly, and after examiner makes sure that everyone's logged in properly, he goes and starts the test. So done with listening. Make sure you concentrate on the audio. You don't have your mind running anywhere else. So that's a tip for a listening test, and it will be quite easy. Now moving on, the next section was the reading part. So what passage I got is, I got a passage about architecture and stuff. My first part was about that, and then I got a passage about how artwork and architecture can collaborate. So these were passages which I got, and you need to read the passage carefully. And as we choose CBT, we also get an option to highlight a specific word while we are reading. So that's really great. and really helpful for us. Oh, I forgot to mention my bands. In my listening test, I got 7.5, and my reading test I got 7.5 as well. Now next comes our writing part, and in my writing I scored 6. So the first question given to me, my first task was 2 paragraphs. First contained the performance of a bus company, and the second was the complaints they got according to month, and I had to summarize about all that. And my second writing task was that the population is increasing in cities, so how do people face advantages and what are the disadvantages of this, and like how can people live a good life in the cities where population is increasing rapidly. So this was what I was asked, and that's all. Yeah, so make sure you have a proper grammar, there are no grammatical mistakes, and make sure there are no spelling mistakes too while you type. So these are the tips, and yeah, after doing that, after completing your IELTS exam, the exam gets submitted automatically. You will be asked to return the sheets on which you made notes. Yeah, you can make notes on the sheets where the login information is present. Like you can use them for rough work. But yeah, you have to return the sheets back to the examiner, and then again I had to give the fingerprint while leaving the room. Before even entering the computer examination room, I had to show my passport, give my passport to the examiner, put my thumb on the scanner, and after giving fingerprint only, I was allowed to move to my computer. And also while leaving, I was asked to give my fingerprint, and then I left the examination center, and then I had to put the logout time in the log register too, and yeah, take my belongings, and my examination was finally done. And I was pretty happy with what I did in the LRW compared to the speaking test. So yeah, this was all about the IELTS examination. Hope you got benefited from it. So make sure you hit the like button, and also subscribe to my channel if you're new, and hit the bell notification icon so that we can meet the next time. And with that being said, see you in the next one. Peace out.